We start in Buffalo with Josh Allen, who I was trying to think about. I was thinking about this morning, Matthew. Like, what's the analysis on Josh Allen? He's quarterback 2 in everybody's rankings behind Patrick Mahomes. Last year, he had close to 40 passing touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns. It seems reasonable that, I don't know, for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, Josh Allen could challenge for 40 passing touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns, 4,500 passing yards, and 500 rushing yards every season.
Every season.
There's, like, not much more to say than this, other than, like, he's a really, like, I guess the only thing I was thinking about is that given that we all have him number 2, is there any, maybe this, here, I think there were 2 thoughts that I had. One would be, is it a 2-quarterback tier at the top with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen?
See, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Yes.
One-man tier.
And then I think it's a one-man tier, but then, like, but it's not that far a drop.
Gotcha.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, and I think, listen, if I leave a draft and I have Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Kyler Murray or Dak Prescott or Russell Wilson, we did a mock yesterday, a 12-team mock. I got Russell Wilson as like QB7. I was thrilled with it. I think Seattle, I actually think Seattle's offense is going to explode a little bit this year. I think people are sleeping on Seattle a little bit, but that's a discussion for another double trouble. But any of those guys that are right there sort of in that mix, Lamar Jackson as well. So I was going through the note last night, and when I go through it, and I'm just like sort of think about like what I want to say about each player, and I had the sort of same reaction, like, what am I going to tell you about Josh Allen you don't know? Guy's a stud, right?
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a fantasy rock star. The only thing I could say is like, there were concerns about the accuracy. Adding Stephon Diggs actually obviously helped that tremendously last year. Now a second year in the system, even more of a connection between the two of them. We expect great things from both players this year. I thought adding Emmanuel Sanders in the offseason, and we'll get to him as an individual player, but just a veteran player like Emmanuel Sanders can only help Josh Allen. Having another reliable target. I like Gabriel Davis. They lost John Brown, but they add Sanders. We'll talk about Beasley in a second, but he's got nice pass-catching weapons as well. Here's the only question I ask, I asked this question of you. So Josh Allen saw 30% of the Bills' red zone carries and 36% of their goal-to-go carries last season. Given that he is the franchise, and that we have seen this before with running quarterbacks, where they have a lot of fantasy success early, and then they get hit so much, and then sometimes, not always, but sometimes coaches are like, all right, we need to dial back the running a little bit because you are the franchise. And so my question is there any chance that we see less designed runs for Josh Allen? The rushing's always going to be there. The scramble is always going to be part of his game. Right. But 36% of a team's goal-to-go carries is a lot for a quarterback.
It's a totally fair question. So
especially a quarterback that isn't built like Cam Newton.
Right. But he has at least 8 rushing touchdowns in each of his 3 seasons. Yep. So that's good. Same offensive coordinator, Brian Daboll, so systematically should be the same, who also good. They did not make a major running back investment this offseason.
Correct.
Also good. Last thing I'll say that I think is worthwhile is that, the Bills are so close this year. Right, they made it to the AFC Championship game last year. That they're on the precipice, they're on the doorstep. That by any means necessary might be their MO this year, next year, and the next year. If you're a team that's a little bit further behind in your sort of franchise arc than where the Bills are, you might be thinking about, hey, let's not do anything crazy here.
Right.
We have. If you're the Chargers as an example, and Josh Allen was the quarterback there, you might be like, I'm not so sure we want to be. We'll have time. We have maybe 15 years ahead, and we want to get to the top or close to it before we empty out all of the sort of tools we have available to us.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just again, we're nitpicking here, right? So my thought is that probably not, even though it's a really fair point.
Yeah, and by the way, I agree with you. I agree with everything you just said. I have him at number 2. I think he's entirely safe, and just to add to all the things that you said about the sort of the Bills and sort of their organization, where they are as a team and everything like that, understand that Sean McDermott, their head coach, obviously came from Carolina during the prime Cam Newton years where, again, Josh Allen isn't Cam Newton, but
it's pretty darn close.
But they weren't scared to use Cam Newton at the goal line for many, many years, all while Sean was there. And obviously, Cam had tremendous success in
Right,
Carolina.
and it was the line from Cam was either like you can't change a tiger's stripes or like you can't
Gotta let the lion roar. I think
the lion roar. That's what it was. Yeah, one of those large cats that he was discussing way back in the day.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.